The next James Bond might be non-binary. The frontrunner to play him is Gonzo.
Scientists say that blood from athletes could be transfused to keep lazy fat people healthy. But of course, scientists say all sorts of crazy things.
California is making their best attempt to run everyone out of the state by reissuing a statewide indoor mask mandate.
And if that doesn't work, California is going to ban bacon.
And we'll take a look back at heroes of the faith, the Freedomites, who like to bomb things and run around naked, way back before either of those things were in vogue.
All this and more on
The Bee Weekly.
Hey guys, Kyle here. We've recently been doing a lot of interviews and promotion for our new book, and I wanted to highlight one interview I did with a podcast and syndicated radio talk show called Issues, Etc. Now, if you've never heard of Issues, Etc., it's a show that features solid, serious, substantive interviews with experts in theology, apologetics, ethics, philosophy, law, and culture, and a lot more. It was one of the more in-depth interviews that I did. It went about 40 minutes, and we talked about a wide range of topics. Host Todd Wilkin asked questions and just kind of let us go off and talk, and he didn't interrupt us, which is a great thing. Sometimes in these shorter radio shows, you end up having to just fire off a real quick soundbite, and then you get interrupted by a commercial break or whatever. So it was a great time. I encourage you to check out Issues, Etc. Now, if you go to issuesetc.org/BabylonB, you can hear that interview, and I encourage you to check that out and also check out their other episodes as well. Go to issuesetc.org/BabylonB. You can hear that interview, and I encourage you to check that out and also check out their other episodes as well. How was your week?
Oh man, jolly good. I had a great week. We filmed an alien sketch. Did you see our alien sketch, Kyle?
I guess
you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Missed
No.
it.
I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out amazing.
It was a lot it was our most high production.
I did watch it. Yes.
I was not there, but it looked like
looked
incredible.
great, right?
Yeah.
Writing's all right, but it's really good looking.
It was funny and it looked good.
We had our highest amount of people, extras. We had like full crowd there. And we had our writer Erlich Wheatstein, who stays hidden. But he was the alien. He had full prosthetics. We had like a makeup guy that sat there for hours putting it on his face, gluing it on.
Gluing it.
Yeah.
Nice. The spaceship effect, both the digital version and the lights in the trees, it all looked really cool.
Yeah, it looked amazing because we had all these giant lights up in the trees on our buddy's property. It was cool.
And we did it all for like $17.
Oh yeah, it's really cheap.
Which is
dirt cheap.
Quite amazing.
We even had a comment, I believe, on the video, which is on. Oh, there it is. Someone commented they saw my son Calvin because in the video, spoiler alert, the Earth gets destroyed. I was a little bit sad when you realize there's a child in the audience. Like, we all know that the Earth's covered in children.
I was gonna say, if you see the Earth destroyed, you're gonna be like, thank goodness no children.
But you see him there, and he's looking up at me. But also, so this Lindsay on YouTube says that poor little one. He was looking at you guys like, hey, there's an alien. Does anyone else see this? And he was kind of like that. Like we kept saying, like the direction was walk up to the trees, the lights come on, act surprised. But he was like he was walking with me. He's like, what is it? What's up? What's going to happen? And all of a sudden the lights go, is that an alien? He was really into it. But my favorite part was he was with my wife part of the time. And my role in it was to just be shouting at the alien, you big dumb alien, the whole time. And so he kept asking my wife, why does Daddy hate aliens? He just couldn't understand why I was sitting there shouting the alien down repeatedly.
Did you ever explain to him that it was a sketch, or is he going to be in therapy like years, or like on one of those History Channel specials? Like I had an alien encounter.
There's so many layers to that. As a kid, how can you understand?
Now I want to know: was Erlich directing in the alien?
He was directing
costume?
in the alien costume. He was.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was hard to take him seriously too. And he was very cold, so he was doing this weird like swaying thing the whole time. We have to stop him. Like, can you stop swaying? It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Fun.
Nice.
Hey, we've got a subscriber dare.
Oh dear.
This is Subscriber Dare.
This is from Rachel Knudsen.
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 I think the K is silent.
Knudsen. No, she says right here.
Oh, she told you how to say it?
Knudsen.
Oh, yeah, Knudsen. Wow, okay.
So, all right. She says, I'm currently a consistent peasant listener, and I'm finally ready to take the next step with the Babylon Bee. My subscriber dare is as follows. You must cover this dating app website on the show. It's called Reformed Mingle. And you must set up a dating profile for Patrick.
Single man, the old cackling Patty.
And if you're not on the video feed, get on the video feed and look at the logo for the site.
Yeah, you got to see that.
Because it's John Calvin winking.
He might be wearing lipstick.
Suggestively at you.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna create a profile for. Now we're gonna create it. He has no say.
Right. Correct. Right. All right. So first thing we're gonna do is pick his profile picture.
And we had Brandon put together some photos. So the first one is the original photo, right? And we did some enhancements. Mm-hmm. So we got the Ascot mustache. The Burt Reynolds.
Wait, is that first one a real photo, or did they touch that up at all?
It's touched up.
Oh, the first one's touched up too?
That doesn't, yeah. He looks too good.
You're going to say it's too handsome?
His lips look good.
Really selling me.
Yeah.
We got to make the facial hair patchier.
Okay, so the first one's kind of the J.J. Abrams, like, director look.
Yeah. And then we've got mustache.
Yeah, like Burt Reynolds.
Pedro Pascal.
And then we got the beard guy with
the
music producer
fantastic.
kind of guy, like the guy that has a recording studio.
Or like a guy who like has a band that's kind of like Creed.
Yeah, he's like their manager or something.
Oh no, the next one is more Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah, the shaggy hair.
Oh yeah.
He looks identical.
He definitely has some kind of drug use thing going.
All right, so we got Narcos or Mandalorian there.
And then the bald one.
Dude, the bald one looks so reformed to me. Like that looks like
that looks reformed.
Bible church pastor or something.
It does, yeah.
I can see him with a pipe in a like a C.S. Lewis book or like a Calvin book.
He's like sitting down to counsel you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, about your flirting with Catholicism.
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, I understand you've been hooking up with people on Reform Mingle. We need to talk about your behavior.
So we're going bald?
I understand that you've been reading some Max Lucado books. All right, I'm going to save this image. So we've got Reformed pick.
Okay.
And then we're going to go on the website here. And I think Dan has already set up the account.
Yeah, we've started. So we just got to fill out the must-haves, can't stands, the compatibility stuff. You're signing in?
Yeah, I'm signing in here.
I haven't even seen this website.
All right, so we've got his date of birth already in here. It looks like city, gender, Patrick? We're going to go male.
He can't answer your answer.
There's only 2 options for gender.
So far, so good.
Which, yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 interests. It says we can pick a minimum of 3 interests for
Okay,
him.
so what are the ladies really going to...
So...
Child rearing?
Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, child. Let's see this.
Sola Scriptura.
Children.
Sola Scriptura.
Wait, Bible. Oh, yeah, is there Bible on here? Let's see. Bible's not on here.
Bible. Oh, you can. It's a drop down.
It's a drop down. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to.
So Reformed people only have a set list of interests that they're allowed to be interested in.
The whole profile is predestined.
How about Meditarian?
Meditarian?
I'm going to pick Meditarian. Okay. What else? Oh, maybe I can type one in. Bible reading. Nope, doesn't let me type it in.
Wow.
So we've got Meditarian. What else?
I can't see the options.
What are some of the other options?
Martial arts. Magic shows.
Yes, magic shows. Not performing them, going to watch them.
Yes.
We're going to do an update with responses, right?
He's very into going to magic shows.
Okay, horseback riding, gaming, fairy tales is on here.
I like that.
Is LARPing on there?
Let's see, LARP. No LARPing. RPGs or something, maybe? Yeah, role-playing games.
Role-playing games, all right.
Okay. So he's into magic shows, role-playing games, and meat. Okay, so we have an image. It says we need minimum of 5 images, though.
Oh, we need more. Just put all these in.
I like every different look of him, yeah. The bald one has the main profile.
Yeah.
How tall
It's like all the same
How tall is Patrick in our fantasy world here?
6.
Should we make him a little shorter than he is?
Women like the tall, right?
Yeah,
no.
That's one thing he's got going
But what's
for
our
him.
goal here? Is it to find a match? So
Yeah, he just do 6'4".
6'4"?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not trying to catfish too hard.
Ethnicity?
Oh, yeah. Throw a little because he's partly Italian, but maybe we could throw in some
Like
Bolivian or I don't know something Colombian, Latvian, Latinx.
okay.
What's like a real sexy nationality? French? No. Spanish?
Yeah, like
Spanish.
Brazilian or like
Brazilian,
like
Italian?
South American, something down
Because
there.
you get spaghetti, but you also get like a skewer of steak. Steak skewer on a sword. No?
I'm trying.
Kyle's baffled.
I lost his.
Is it a drop-down menu of ethnicities?
Another drop-down?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is? Oh.
All right, then let us know our options. Gosh,
okay, we got-
Calvinist, man.
Because I was going to say, but he's...
Arab, Asian, Black, Hispanic, Native American, Pacific Islander, South Asian, White, Other.
Should you go the old other?
Other?
Yeah, that makes it a little mysterious.
Okay.
Okay, affiliation. We can pick his church. Oh, you can. Can we say he's Catholic? Let's see.
See, that's what I wanted for ethnicity. I wanted to say he was 98% Italian and 2% Catholic.
They have a lot of.
Reformed
They have a lot
Catholic.
of. They have a lot of options here,
Okay.
but there is no Catholic.
What's the closest to Catholic you can get?
Probably Anglican.
Anglican?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say he's Anglican.
Is this thing purely drop down? This is really disappointing if it is.
So far, yeah. Okay, job title. I think we can type this in. Yeah.
Okay, job title. So what is a reform girl? I want to see job title.
Like craft beer brewer.
Or something heroic, like
honey
a
harvest-
firefighter or something.
Honey harvester, maybe like something naturalistic like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
Essential oil.
What's the word for beekeeper?
Beekeeper.
Like there's a word for
Yeah,
it.
there's like a real word for
Well, yeah, but there's a word for like a something.
like a really technical, kind of like how boxers are called pugilists. Like a really fancy word for it.
Another word for
I know for butterflies it's lepidopterist. We could make it
That's
a
good.
butterfly farmer.
Lepidopterist.
We could make a butterfly farmer.
Butterfly farmer. Butterfly
Oh.
farmer.
apiarist.
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 Is that birds?
One who keeps bees.
Oh.
Apiarist.
All right, that's it.
All right. Apiarist. How do you say that? Yeah.
Apiarist. Apurist.
Education. This is a drop down.
Oh, okay. Just pick something.
Make him a doctor.
Sure.
Okay, he's a doctor. Should he be single,
He's a
divorced?
doctor of bees. I like it's a hint too that he's from the Babylon Bee.
Hey, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping it in.
Is he single, divorced, or widowed?
Should we go widowed?
I think we should. We're screwing with people's
I know.
hearts here, man. Kids, no kids, grown children, have kids that live with me.
Wants kids?
Just no kids, yeah.
Okay.
Stance on alcohol. Dude, there's only 3 options, and none of them is true, Patrick.
What are the 3 options?
Opposed to casual drinking, I don't mind others drinking, and I only drink in moderation.
There's no... What?
And I know none of those are true of Patrick.
How could a reformed bingle not have like
don't
heavy
mind-
drinking?
Yeah.
That's what
All right, I'm going to say he drinks in moderation. Stance on tobacco. I smoke cigarettes. I smoke a pipe or cigars only in moderation. I don't mind others smoking a pipe or cigar, and I'm opposed to smoking. I think he's got to be a
Cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
It's like the idea of this doctor out there smoking cigarettes, working on the bees.
Yes. Okay, so the only thing is I need a buttload of images.
And then finally, if a train is about to hit the newsboys,
You got to balance it out because the girl's going to be like, doctor. And then she's going to be like, cigarettes? She's going to be torn, you know.
yeah.
You want it to be a total like slam dunk.
Yeah, you want him to be like intrigued.
Yeah. And she'll be thinking, I can change him. I can get him to quit
I
cigarettes.
can reform him.
Yeah, I can reform him. Anything left?
Is it not
No.
like a bio or
That's it?
anything?
Well, no, I think there's another page.
eHarmony has like 5 pages.
I think there is another page, but I have to get more pics on here
Oh, we got the 5
before
picks.
it'll let me.
Okay. Read there.
If anybody has pictures of Patrick I can use.
I like putting all those.
Can we call this calf fishing because we're putting a Catholic on a reformed website?
Catfishing.
Oh, he turned out to be
pretty
a
good.
Catholic.
I'll check his Facebook page.
All right, I've got one of us in a teacup, and I have one where you sit single riders.
Yeah.
He's standing in front of the single rider.
Oh,
sign
yeah,
at
that's a good
Disneyland. Yeah.
I'm trying to go way back in his photos. Well,
Oh man, actually, he probably is a lot on there.
I have a picture of our legs in the teacup together.
That's a good one.
All right, I'm gonna. It's like 4 pictures of you in the teacup. All right.
let's check albums. You got any good albums?
Oh, and you and MJ. Should we do one of you and MJ?
No, that's like the worst on a dating site.
No, girls
another
like
girl?
girls like when they see they got some competition.
Here's it.
They like when they,
Yeah,
they
no,
like
I
when
like
there's
it.
like they like when they see you around other attractive girls. They're like, hey,
There you go.
Yeah, I'm doing
There's
it.
an album called Awesome Night on his Facebook, and it's like him and all his buddies. Like
Where he was not drinking in moderation.
Is there
it's very blurry.
there's no option for videos on there, is there? What was that thing where he was screaming and pointing to his that millennial saying or whatever they had to
Oh
do?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's the next page.
Okay, so I have selected 5 images, all of Patrick in a teacup at Disneyland.
Back when he had hair.
Yeah, it's like completely different hairstyle than the other one. Okay. You have to have a spotlight video.
Spotlight video.
What was that thing that he yelled? What was that line? She.
Yeah, just put in one of his Babylon Bee.
An action
Video?
shot of you doing something you love. So upload video.
Man, Reform Mingle. They like media.
Can I move to the question section? Oh, I can move to the question section
Okay.
without doing that for now. Okay, how did you come to savingly know the Lord?
Okay.
I was a Catholic and realized the error
I was a Catholic and then I read the Bible.
my way. And then one day I accidentally read the Bible and got saved. How did you come to know of Reformed theology? I just told you that. I read the Bible.
Accepted R.C. Sproul into my heart.
What are your beliefs as it relates to gender roles, parenting, schooling, and lifestyle?
Pro. I don't know.
I am pro.
I basically follow everything that Maccabees says.
I follow everything in the book of Maccabees.
Probably gonna give you the most responses on a dating profile.
I know it is not scripture, but there is still some good wisdom there. How would you describe your personality and interests? And what are you looking for in someone else?
It is not I who looks, but the Lord who finds.
It is not I who looks or makes that decision, but the Lord who directs my heart. I also really like bees. Anything else you feel your crush should know? I don't. I have.
Is he having like on his record? Anything on his record you need to know about?
There are no secrets about me that I have not revealed here. Nothing major. Like
I have a weird mole that you'll see if we get married.
I'm a registered sex offender. But I can explain.
I'm an unregistered sex offender.
I'm just gonna say no.
No.
What level of involvement do you have in your local church? He attends infrequently.
Okay.
What are your views on homeschooling?
Yeah, what are his views on homeschooling?
I'm going to say he does not want to homeschool.
Doesn't want
View
public
on-
schooler?
On the supernatural gifts.
I got my doctorate through homeschool.
I can only click. This is
Sad.
View on the supernatural gifts.
Is it a drop down?
No. Oh, yes.
Okay. What are options?
Gifts have ceased. I believe the supernatural gifts continue till today. But I'm not charismatic.
Sounds good.
I like that one.
It's very nitpicky. What's your preferred style of worship? No instruments. Some instruments. Worship band.
No instrument.
No instruments. It's definitely no instrument guy. Gender roles in marriage. The wife is to be the head of the marriage.
There you go.
How is that an option? I've never heard any say.
That's a reform thing?
What is your view towards a wife having a career outside the home?
He loves it.
I think a wife should be free to have a full-time career outside the home. I kind of like the idea if he thinks the wife is the head of the home, but she also cannot get a job.
Yeah, that's good. I like the idea of her supporting his.
She's got to stay home and be the head of the home all day.
What is your view on divorce and remarriage? Did we say he was divorced? No, we said he was
widowed.
So he should say divorce and say there should be no marriage after divorce. All right, I'm going to say no divorce. What Bible translation do you prefer? There's only two options, KJV or NASB and ESV. Or KJV? I prefer some other translation.
Okay.
He's a KJV guy, I think. How many children would be your ideal? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 plus?
7 plus.
Oh, yeah, 7 plus, for sure.
What is your view on spanking?
He wants a hive.
For children. What is your view on
Love it.
Are there options?
The options are giving or receiving.
Consistent loving spanking. I don't believe in spanking or seldom spanking. That's consistent, for sure. I want to have 7 kids and spank them.
Consistent.
What is your view on adoption? I really want to adopt. How often do you read your Bible? Every now and again. Are you athletic?
Is it a yes or
no? Is it just yes or
basically.
no?
Really?
Yes, kind of.
I make him athletic.
Yeah, he's
sure,
athletic.
He's an athletic beekeeper.
Would you consider yourself an intellectual?
Absolutely.
No, for sure. How many pets do you prefer to have?
Is there a 7 plus?
There's a 4 plus.
4 plus.
All right, so we're done with the quiz.
All right. To see the full thing of everything we just did, subscriber portion, you get to see the video we set up for Patrick.
But we need constant
all
updates
the photos
every week of.
But we need to see how we'll be coming back and reading
with
the responses
that Patrick's gonna get.
And we will be replying to them.
Yes. All right. Great.
Cool.
So
we just got a new subscriber. Welcome, Rachel.
That was a lot of work.
That was a lot of work.
That was the longest subscriber challenge ever.
We made a quarter an hour there. So we got our Babylon Bee banger of the week.
Banger of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Rudolph changes name to Rolanda. Dominates female reindeer games. That's the same joke.
Same joke.
and it absolutely killed, man.
Every time. They love it.
At least we didn't use the word identifies.
It's a name change. It's
joke.
different. It's a new joke, yeah.
Totally change his name.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It didn't change the gender.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a wig.
Yeah. Pink wig. It's nice.
Okay. And what bombed? What did nobody like?
Bomb of the week.
Heresy. This Christian band didn't replace the T in their name with a cross. At least it's a new joke.
We didn't make that joke till now?
We didn't make it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just been sitting there waiting?
Yeah. Oh, this bombed hard, man. This got like no likes. Wow, sad. This was a Chris Cowan joke.
Chris Cowan.
Yeah. Chris Cowan.
Fired.
The dunce cap of shame for this week. But, yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, speaking of this week, we're gonna get into the news, and for news, we now have a special guest coming in on the weekly. We're gonna go to weekly news with our host Adam Yenser.
It's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
Thanks, Ethan. An Italian bishop apologized after telling a group of kids that Santa Claus doesn't exist and was created by the Coca-Cola Company. Said other Italian bishops who had to apologize to kids, "Wait, that's all you did?"
Oof. Oof. We'd like to distance ourselves from
What
Adam
do you mean?
Yenser.
What's he mean by that?
Catholics are really getting hit a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
But the Catholic bishop, he did then walk back his comments and assured the children that Santa Claus is as real as purgatory, the Immaculate Conception, and the authority of the Pope.
Classic.
Yeah.
Catholics owned.
Oh man, we're losing all our Catholic listeners.
Yeah. But he still insists the Tooth Fairy is a bunch of gay propaganda. The woman who controls the rights to the James Bond franchise said that the next James Bond might be non-binary, meaning he'd still have a PP7 but no PP.
Can I scream
These are the ones.
Did
These are the
nobody
ones
run
that
these
Kyle.
by me?
No, this next one is the one you specifically don't want me to do. In keeping with the politically correct theme, the new non-binary Bond's first love interest will be named Front Hole Galore. Kyle told me I couldn't
That's
say that in the
embarrassing.
Slack earlier.
I just
so
like squeaked.
I put it in here.
Can I
That
say?
was like the sound of a ferret getting stepped on.
You can bleep out all of this. You can bleep this entire segment. We have 4 hours of Patrick's dating profile to fall back on.
Can I just say that the James Bond lady did not actually say this? This
What'd she
was a
say?
big right-wing outrage. That
Oh yeah.
She was kind of asked like a leading question about it, and kind of in a dismissive
like,
way was
any
like,
chance James Bond
Oh,
could
they
be non-binary?
putting words-
Yeah.
We're open to all kinds of things.
If
Yeah.
she says no, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Although the
Hellfire
proper
brimstone.
response is no. James
right.
Bond
James
has
Bond
a
is a
wiener.
man.
Last time I checked.
He
Yeah.
has to stay a man, and the woman has to stay home being head of the household.
I heard originally James Bond was a girl in the books or something.
Really?
Something I looked up, it was like kind of crazy. Then they I don't know. I have to look. Someone look it up. Bye. Go ahead.
I feel like this James Bond, like when that laser was coming out of his crotch, this James Bond will be like begging the villain to laser his groin.
Why?
See? You know that scene? It's a medical procedure.
Oh,
Yeah, I
There's
get
nothing. There's nothing.
Get rid of the patriarchy.
inappropriate.
I
There's
took that
nothing
the wrong way.
inappropriate about it.
Laser surgery.
Yeah. On Saturday, former NFL star and host of Good Morning America, Michael Strahan, traveled to space. And it's sort of a paradox because space is infinite, but somehow his two front teeth brought more space to space.
Does he have
Yeah.
big front teeth?
Very,
gap or
it's
something?
a very visual joke.
Okay, we'll put the picture up.
I wonder if that gap like whistled as he was going into space, just like as he's soaring into the atmosphere. Ultra-conservative lawmakers in Iran are proposing a bill that would almost entirely ban owning pets. Said one lawmaker, animals aren't something you can just own and keep in a cage like a wife.
I hope you guys are enjoying the first and last segment of Weekly News with
We have
Adam.
a lot of Irani.
Yeah, we're losing
Hey, we have a huge
we're
audience.
alienating
Iranian
all our-
listeners.
Okay.
I always like looking at that map of demographics.
Yes.
And it's like we got a U.S. some
Yeah, yeah.
Australia, and then there's like always one guy in like
Yeah,
India.
there's one
or
guy in each
something.
country.
Oh, yeah.
So we lost our one Iranian guy.
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, maybe he's critical of his own,
Yeah. There's a lot of people over there that oppose that.
sure.
Iran
sure
is a
some.
fantastic country with a diverse demographic. I saved it.
Right.
In a PBS interview, Chris Christie said it is undeniable that President Trump is the person who gave him COVID last year. Now, Trump was social distancing, but still coughed on the end of the 6-foot party sub Christie was eating.
It makes it sound like they made out or something.
Yeah.
There's nobody else it could have been.
He's like, oh, yeah,
no.
I made sure I got it from
a
him.
whole night of it.
A professor at Fordham University was fired for accidentally mixing up the names of 2 black students in his class. It doesn't sound that racist at first, but the 2 students were named Matt and Jennifer. To prevent similar racist things from happening in the future, Fordham will now require all black students to wear jerseys with their names on them.
Hold on, I'm gonna. You typed black with a capital letter. I'm gonna uncapitalize it.
Whoa!
Oh, racist.
Now who's alienating viewers?
Wow.
See, I always
I'm opposed to it.
I always go capitalize black, but also capitalize white.
That's the new rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like a year and a half ago. They like memory hold like all people just.
Oh, the new rule is you capitalize everything?
Cap-
See,
everything.
but for a while, I heard, I don't know if it was a rule, but for a while there's people pushing to keep black capitalized, but not capitalize white.
Right.
Because black is good and white is evil or something.
So they're not doing that now?
Yeah.
Well, I
Can I
have
get
un-
back,
like a little
can I
too
get
on the
back to
nose.
my dirty jokes?
Yes, I have uncapitalized.
Do you capitalize white still?
No, I don't know.
He does white, all caps, and bold.
All cap, underlined.
Yeah. In Comic Sans.
That there should be a
You should do that
different.
Wild West.
That's how it should be. Like there should be a different font for each
Copper- yeah,
ethnicity.
copper plate
It'd be
Gothic.
diverse writing.
Yeah, exactly.
A Bitcoin millionaire who retired at the age of 35 is now complaining that being rich is boring. So he'll be excited to learn that Bitcoin is crashing and he's poor again. A growing number of men are opting to take their wife's surname after marriage and to wear their wife's wedding dress during the wedding. No word on whether they'll keep her surname after she leaves them for a real man. I feel like that's the kind of guy we made Patrick out to be in his dating profile. The wife is the head of the household.
How do you have that conversation? Like, whose name you want to keep?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Is it like,
I think I have friends that mashed theirs together. Like they did
that's
like an amalgamation of his last name and her last name.
so like if like one of us got married, so Yenser and Nicole.
Yenser. If we
Yenzel.
got
That
if, so
Yenzel.
we're very progressive in that we got gay married.
Yeah.
And for you, it's a plural marriage.
That's true.
And then we're now. Does your other wife and your
'cause
kids take
her,
our
her
new
maiden name too.
Yeah.
If we'd use her,
just
be
like
really
5
progressive.
hyphens and
They just make a word up.
yeah. O.J. Simpson was discharged from parole 2 months early and is now a completely free man.
Finally.
And he says he's all ready to get back out there and take another stab at the dating scene.
Stab.
It's too easy. It's too
Stab.
easy. It's too easy. I disapprove.
Should we
of-
just roll the tape?
I
of
disapprove of
Norm
that one.
McDonald for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. According to her brother, even Ghislaine Maxwell believes that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. Specifically, she believes he was murdered by this guy Benicio, who she paid $50,000 to murder him.
Are you saying people named Benicio sound like they're murderers?
It was just a random name I
Profiling?
picked. Yeah, and I'm going to put Hispanic in capital letters in front of it.
I mean, the name Benicio, you probably have a higher chance.
Yeah, that's a
Just
murdering
being a
name.
hitman.
Statistically, highest hitman name is Benicio.
Yeah, true.
Scientists say that blood from athletes could be transfused to keep lazy fat people healthy, except Magic Johnson. You guys approve or disapprove of that one? See,
I'm not.
do you guys get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand it.
It is weird. Like
Magic.
it's like if only there was something else they could, some other way they could keep fat people healthy. If
only there was
They're
another
like, you could go outside and exercise. And they're like, no, can you harvest Tom Brady's blood for me while I sit here watching
wanna
him on
see if this
TV and
works.
eating pork rinds? That's probably why they wanted what's his name, Aaron Rodgers, to get vaccinated so badly, so they can suck his blood and give it to other people.
All these fat billionaire guys.
Yeah.
Give me the blood of the NFL star.
That was, yeah. Didn't they do that in Silicon Valley? That was a bit where the rich guy would bring in young men and
Oh yeah. There was a rumor for a while that like people in Hollywood were using like baby blood or something
Yeah.
to put it on their faces.
Omnichrome.
Oh, and there's the adrenochrome thing.
Adrenochrome.
There's the adrenochrome conspiracy theory, but then there was a thing where there's like blood from like a
Christopher
placenta or
Reeves?
something that women would like put on their face because it like makes your skin look younger
Oh
or something
yeah,
like that.
placenta blood.
Yeah.
Ew.
your skin does look pretty young, Adam.
Yeah, that's my secret.
And you have hung around in Hollywood.
He's very Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's the most Hollywood of us all.
I paid a lot. I got Tom Brady's placenta. They kept it on ice. And they auctioned it off to the highest bidder. And one treatment took 10 years off my life. Off my face, not off my life. In an attempt to obtain vaccine cards for other people, a man in New Zealand got 10 COVID vaccines in a single day. He says he wanted to help other people because he has a big heart, and now thanks to 10 vaccines, he has a really big heart.
We got 10 in a single day. Is
Yeah.
that healthy?
They say that he probably will be fine from it. He'll just like have a sore arm and feel like crap the next day. So.
Okay.
You 10 of them. Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could. That seems.
I didn't know I didn't know that you were allowed to.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's not. I don't know exactly what the plan was. It sounds like he probably went under fake names.
Yeah, he went in a
then
different
was trying
costume
to
each
get the
time or
different-
something.
so that he could do all the, go to all the activities in New Zealand. he can visit all the Hobbit houses. Due to the Omicron variant, California is reissuing a statewide indoor mask mandate. Like previous statewide mandates, it will be observed by Los Angeles and San Francisco. If you drive 5 miles in any direction from any city, no one listens to these mandates.
Yeah, I hear that stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. Another mandate.
Yeah.
Now
you
they're-
No
guys
one,
have fun
and
over
they're
there.
so strict about it in the cities and
Yeah.
don't care anywhere else. Like at the height of COVID, like last year, like I wasn't doing stand up for months, and then there was a show out. Where was it called? It was like On Your Way to Big Bear, like in the desert somewhere. And I got there, and it was all at this like indoor like auditorium. And I walked in, I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be outdoors. I didn't know you could have like indoor shows here. And he's like, oh, you can't. It's just like, no one
cares.
No one cares.
I like when you find like the random restaurant that's still like it's like walking back in a time machine like a
Yeah.
year and a half ago. Like it's during the 2 weeks or whatever, like right after when people
Yeah.
there's plastic everywhere, everyone's wearing masks.
My suspicion all along has been that their goal is to every winter just be like, it is flu season, everybody wears
Yeah.
masks for 3 months. Like they're trying to implement, because Omicron is basically the cold.
Yeah, they're saying it's not bad at all. Like,
And so,
They're gonna run out of letters. They have to come up with new names for it, right?
yeah.
well, I actually talked to a doctor recently about this because I wasn't sure like whether I'm like on the fence about the vaccine. I haven't rushed to get it. I'm not really like I'm not a conspiracy theory about it, but I don't necessarily want it if I don't need it. And he said that eventually they're just going to stop naming them because there's going to be so many variants. There's going to be a new one each year. You'll just call it COVID, and it'll be like the flu. And
if you want, flu's like that.
And
anyway,
if you want the booster shot, you can get it. And yeah,
or lose your job.
Exactly. Finally, a Catholic bishop in Spain was suspended after he married a woman who writes erotic novels. Now, Kyle definitely won't let me do this punchline, so if you want to hear the ending to this one, check out the canceled news on my YouTube channel.
I like how you wrote that before you knew that I would be sitting here going...
I copied and pasted it into the script, and then I was like, delete, and I wrote that instead.
All right, well, yeah, find Adam Yenser on Canceled News on YouTube and maybe on future episodes.
Yeah, we'll see. There's 5 or 6 of those that Kyle was okay with.
Hey, we can always
I
cut
always
one.
want more animal jokes. I'm an animal joke guy.
More animal jokes.
If you want my favor, I want animal
Were there
jokes.
any animal? There's the pet one about wives. You guys left that one.
Yeah, that's good. I was wondering what's going on with ducks, otters, things like that.
Wives.
Cool.
Thank you, Adam Yenser.
Thank you.
You know what the worst thing in the world is? It's when you're laughing at something and really enjoying it and you're not paying any money for it. That sucks. You feel really guilty. You're like, man, there's all these people that are like giving their lives to making this stuff and, you know, that's their whole job. And I didn't even give them any money for it. Now you can give us money. You can become a Babylon Bee subscriber and ease that guilty conscience. Go to babylonbee.com/plans. And for a limited time, you can insert the promo code podcast and you get 10% off. It's not 7%, it's not 8%, it's not 9%, it's not 11%, it's not 12%. It is 10% off your subscription. So go to babylonbee.com/plans and subscribe. That's what enables us to continue making all the amazing content that you enjoy 24/7 right into your brain.
Porkpocalypse 2022.
Pork, bacon, pigs. We love it. Now, what we really need is a hog farmer. Holy crap, there's a hog farmer sitting right here next to us.
How did that happen?
You know what? The Lord works in mysterious ways. You know, you need it, and He opens it. God closes the door. He drops a hog farmer in front of you. And so, you just happen to be in studio today with our buddy Mason. And are you guys brothers? Your cousins? You know, you're not.
Mason's a cousin of mine.
Okay.
Yes.
And you got So you just happen to be here. We actually had a guest cancel. And you're a hog farmer. You want to like kind of just. What are your hog farming credentials? You got like
the other
5
the other guest was also a hog farmer.
Yeah.
Is there a word like apiary for bees? Is there
what's like the fancy word for hog farmer? Hoggiary?
Swine specialist. I don't.
Okay.
We could come up with something.
Okay.
I just know that if we write the word pig, we have to capitalize the P. That's very important.
You have to capitalize the
Call
P.
back.
Well, okay, so I don't know if people know this that don't live in California, but there's a law that went into, it got voted in, even voters voted in, and it said like, let's be nice to pigs, and everybody's like, yeah, but they don't realize that like that's going to be like no bacon. So we're facing like a bacon apocalypse is what's happening.
Yeah.
California.
And what was the rule? It was that you have to make their pens bigger or something?
Yeah,
like
do
that?
you know the details in this one?
Yeah, briefly I can explain that in 2018, California had a ballot initiative, Proposition 12, and it passed with 63% of the California population basically making a deal with the devil. I say that because there's no one on the face of the earth that would steal your bacon but the devil.
You're right. That's truly satanic.
Yeah. So basically, the Humane Society of the United States is an animal rights organization that pushed for this ballot initiative to go through in California, and it does require that we increase the amount of space we allow as hog producers for each individual pig during the production process inside those barns.
So what do they base that on? Like, what do pigs need room for? Like cartwheels?
Wallowing?
More rooting? They do a lot of rooting around.
Not in modern production. There's not a lot of rooting. They're on concrete slats.
Oh, really? No rooting?
No rooting.
Okay.
Concrete slats in environmentally controlled barns.
Okay.
Barns that we were able to keep the humidity, the temperature, the environment year round ideal for the life of the pig.
Okay. So they're not covered in mud.
They are not covered in mud.
Like a
That is correct.
Netflix subscription for each pig.
Yeah, what do you do to make their life
What's
like
the-
enjoyable
Yeah.
before? Any fun
We
activities?
we feed them.
Okay, yeah, they like that.
Yeah.
You read
Yeah.
to them?
Actually, some people play radios.
Oh, yeah.
in the
Okay,
hog
little
barns,
music.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Have they done studies? Like, I know I've heard them do this with plants. Like, do they know what kind of music? Like, and I think they've done it with cows, like milk production. Is there music that pigs like?
Like Lincoln Pork.
Or skillet?
Lincoln pork.
All right.
Most pigs fear skillet.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so we have these this law. So it's gonna happen, right? So this is like when's this happening? When's this taking-
January 1st is when
Okay.
the law goes into effect. One of the problems that we have as pork producers in the United States is that despite the fact this law was passed in 2018 and goes into effect January 1 of this year, there's been no regulatory guidance written. So we as an industry have no idea how we can comply with the law.
Okay.
And there are virtually no hogs produced in California. And what I would anticipate happening as a hog producer and from what I hear in the industry and in discussions I've had is that there's going to be major hog suppliers, packers that just elect not to ship pork to California.
So they're either not going to ship it or they're going to charge just a buttload of money.
Yeah, only
Right.
about 4% of the hog production in the United States would currently comply with the law as it is written.
So
And
the
that's
law,
expensive pork.
so the law in California is not just for producers here in California. It's that you can't even import pork products from other states if they're raised in these.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
this is government overreach.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, California trying to it impedes commerce, interstate commerce. It's a government in California trying to tell me in Indiana how to produce an animal, and these are lawmakers in California that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, no clue about hog production, and not only just this law requires any pork sold in California, so they can't even import pork, from another country. That does not meet their requirements.
And the suspicion of like the animal rights movement is like they don't want they don't want the pigs more comfortable, so they want people not eating them, right? Is that the suspicion that
is that
the
the
goal
gist of
here
it?
is to ruin the industry and not have people eating them?
Oh yeah. I mean, on the face, they want you to feel good about making an animal feel better.
Just before devouring it.
Yeah, but in reality, these terrorist type organizations actually want to eliminate animal agriculture. They want us to. I mean, they are very plant based, involved in the plant based meat alternatives.
Have you ever tried any of those?
Yeah, they have Impossible Pork.
Vegan bacon,
I can't believe it's not
crap
bacon.
like that.
I think there are products. No, and to answer your question, I haven't tried. No.
Turkey bacon's
think-
garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
and,
No,
and that's,
that's not
it's
even really
made from
bacon.
meat, and it's still not good.
Is there another animal that has bacon in its body besides turkeys and pigs?
You just got the hog farmer stare down.
Old hog farmer stink eye.
Have you heard of lake cow bacon?
Yeah, lake cow bacon. Remember, we were eating that back in the early
Historically, yeah.
1900s.
They tried to legalize the selling of hippo meat in the United States because there was like a farmer in Louisiana that wanted to raise hippos in the marshes and then make bacon out of the hippo.
It was called lake cow bacon.
Yeah.
No, I'm being
giant-
educated today.
That was the first I heard about it. It was for
Yeah.
it was for some historical segment we did.
And there's probably unregulated hippo laws in California, so we could go hippo.
I do feel like though if bacon like you can't get in California, that is what will finally get me to leave. I'll be like, oh, these mask mandates are oppressive. Oh, I'm not allowed to go in any restaurant or bar, but I'm still gonna live here. And then if they take away bacon, I'll be like, all right, I'm leaving.
But to answer your question, Ethan, alternatives to bacon, I don't. There's not a good alternative to bacon.
I looked online at what are like animals that are similar in taste and texture to pork, and the top results were duck and possum.
I've never had possum.
Yeah, could you imagine if because possums are like not really a farmed animal, so if we start really pumping them full of steroids and feeding them, like you get some nice big juicy possums, it could be good.
Give them some music to listen to.
They're easy to catch. They're slow. They play dead.
They play dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just catch them when they're playing.
You don't
dead.
even know if you don't know if it's dead and you're eating it. You're like, it might still be playing. So, but there's definitely going to be some kind of a black market on the border of Arizona going on.
Oh yeah, let's
Stop by to get your
Great
cigars.
investment opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Build some cold storage on the border.
When we were driving around Tennessee and Mississippi and Arkansas, I don't know all the alcohol laws in the different counties, but you could tell you crossed a county line, and there was like all the liquor stores right along the county line. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
When you go into Yuma or whatever, there's just going to be like a bunch of bacon stores.
It's like a pork store.
People are going to drive back with trunks full of bacon.
And resell it here.
I hope the cop doesn't open up the back.
Are you carrying bacon? No, it's just
Yeah.
fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just M80s. Don't worry about
Is there
it.
going to be like a special like group of police that have to police this, and are they going to be named something like the Pork Squad or something like? Because there's like all these things they're not going to be associated with, right?
Yeah.
Smell a pork product
Yeah.
of some kind. But usually what happens with this stuff is the fallout actually hits because people feel good about themselves when
Yeah.
they vote for it, and then when it
They
actually
don't do
hits,
the math.
and then they end up like pushing it out. They push the deadline out once there's a crisis, and like, oh well, we'll ease up on the regulations, and so I imagine that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like you eat 12 pieces of pizza and then you regret it when you start pushing it out.
And that's like,
Sorry. Sorry. The look on Kyle's face.
do pork producers right now plan to are any of them trying to comply with this ruling, or are they basically just kind of going forward like it's going to get overturned, or we're just going to stop?
Sure,
shipping
there
to
are a few
California?
pork producers across the country that are in the process of remodeling their facilities and do intend to make them Prop 12 compliant. But it would not make sense to do it on a farm that is not that does not need renovations currently. If you didn't have to put capital into it today, you're not going to decide to spend $2 million just to be able to send pork to California.
Yeah.
Especially if the person you're selling your pigs to, if that packer has decided that they're just not going to ship product to California, there's no reason to do so. But yes, I mean there are people that would want to. They see an opportunity. It's an economic opportunity.
Yeah.
So you kind of like you have to kind of pick which side you're going to go on. Either don't just cut California out of your budget, or go with the pig, whatever you call it, the pig resort.
Make a pig resort.
Yeah, big
Spa.
old pig resort.
Yeah, big
resort.
pig spa. Yeah.
Pig spa.
You ever name the pigs?
How many pigs do you have?
This is a real story. When I was growing up, we had a pet pig named Webster, and me and my brothers, we would feed him apples, and he lived in our orchard in a little pen, and then we butchered him and ate him, and we had pork chops wrapped in the freezer that had Webster written on them.
That's fantastic. At least you know the role of a pig.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, on my farm, I've got a couple of different farms that I own. We have about 18,000 pigs.
Wow.
So do you name
A lot
them?
of pork. You have to
I don't know
hire
that I know 18,000 names, so no.
We can start naming them.
Yeah.
Send in your ideas for names.
Pass them
All
along.
the pigs.
All right. Well,
So
thank you,
cool. Well,
sir.
we'll find out where can people contact you if they want to get black market pork mailed to their house directly.
We'll put that in the subscriber section.
Subscriber portion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go, is there anything people can do to like fight
Yeah,
this
what
or
can
push
people do?
back, or is there any like movement to try to like change the law? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's pending court cases. The National Pork Producers Council has filed briefs, and we're awaiting the Supreme Court to step in, and are very hopeful that it will be it's clear that this is impeding interstate commerce.
Which of the justices looks like they eat the most pork and would be on your side?
Clarence Thomas, maybe.
Kavanaugh.
I like bacon. I eat bacon. I still eat bacon.
All right. Well, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Hey,
and,
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
we'll look
yeah.
forward to the updates on the pig situation in California.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
All right.
It's funny. I'm not used to interviewing someone to be like, I want him to pitch his book or something. You can check out his book.
Yeah.
On,
Where can people get your bacon?
You can buy bacon at your local grocery store for a little while.
Until January 1st.
What bacon should people buy to support your farm?
Hey, any pork purchased is pork that's removed from the
To support the cause.
yeah. All right.
And now it's time for this week's Heroes of the Faith.
Welcome to another segment of Heroes of the Faith. Today we're going to talk about the Freedomites, intriguingly also known as the Nude Bombers.
It's just the name of the game, yeah. I don't think they were technically known
Okay,
as
well,
that.
this
but
is the...
I mean, that
two
was
things
what
that
they were
stand
known
out.
for.
They're known for being naked and bombing.
Yeah.
They actually, I noticed they're originally, they're from a group called the Doukhobors. Which literally
Dukers.
means spirit wrestlers.
It's a cool name.
And they
that's
were
pretty
were
cool.
from Russia originally.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was a bigger religious group there. Like it was a
we're like early 1900s.
denomination. And then in 1902, because of the political situation in Russia, a bunch of them fled to like northern Canada and settled in Saskatchewan. And then it says they insist on 3 different things: communal living, nudity, and anarchy.
I like how 2 of those...
That's their 3 solas.
I like how 2 of those kind of make sense. And you're like, okay, I get it, you're anarchist.
They're just like a naked
and
Michael
also,
Malice.
no clothes.
It gets I mean, I feel like it gets worse and worse. You're like communal living, it's communism, but
Yeah,
whatever. If it's
anarchy.
voluntary, go for it. Then nudity, huh? And
They
then
insist
anarchy.
on it, yeah. Well, they're famous for their all-nude public demonstrations, but you have to remember, like, this is like back in like the 1910s, 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't
When
this
nobody
isn't
was
as
nude
shocking
back
now.
then.
Yeah, like that had to be because they were considered terrorists. Like that might be considered a terrorist act to like just go naked out in public. I don't
think being naked was invented until like the 1960s.
Yeah, no one got naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their big issue with the government was so they kind of wanted to live in their own little like communal, town and handle all their own government issues, handle all their own education for their children was the most important thing because they were pacifists. And at this time,
They
like
bombed people.
What's that?
Pacifists who bombed people.
We'll get there. They eventually bombed people. But they didn't want their kids going to public Canadian schools because they didn't want them learning anything that didn't fit their pacifist ideology. And later on, as like World War I and World War II then took off, they didn't want their kids to go through the public education system and then get drafted into the Canadian Army. So they kind of wanted to just be left alone. And then, let me see, there was some big thing where, what was their leader's name?
Peter Virgin.
Yes, his real name was Peter Virgin, but he went by Lordy.
Lordy. It's a good call.
And he was kind of their ruler. And then at some point, he died in like a fire or a bombing or something. Let me see where it was.
Yeah, it was like mysterious, I think.
Yeah, and they blamed the government.
They
for
said the
it.
government did it. That was like a big uprising. It said during, I found an article from the 60s, and in that article it said during the past 40 years, so this is like, 1920 and beyond, they have been held accountable for 1,112 depredations, ranging from blowing up power pylons and railroad bridges to planting ingenious booby traps and cigarette packs, which are then dropped in non-Doukhobor towns. All told, the Freedomite terrorists have caused $20 million in damage and taken 20 lives.
That's pretty good for pacifists.
Yeah, for pacifists, it's pretty good.
So do they never wear clothes? Like if they're in Saskatchewan and they're running around
I think they would.
Yeah, it seems like the worst place to be a nude cult.
Yeah, why would he be like, I'm going to go start a naked cult in Tahiti or something?
I didn't plan it out.
Yeah. I don't think they were naked all the time. They thought, so their thinking behind it was that God created our bodies and nothing that God created isn't beautiful, so it shouldn't be covered. So I think they were nude in their own town at their own religious services and stuff. But then as they started protesting against, the government of Canada started trying to force their kids into schools. So there was kind of this thing where like the government came after them both to try to get their kids into schools and because at the time, because they came from Russia, a lot of Canadians were like skeptical that they were like this communist spy kind of group. And then when they started protesting against the government, there was one point where it said the adults went like outside the school where the kids were, like an elementary school where the kids were forced to go, and the adults gathered and protested naked outside
In front of the
school.
elementary school.
that'll get you put on a list.
I mean, if Canada's like saying that all children have to go through public education
Yeah.
Like they're actually making me side with the crazy bomb and naked guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things where it gets like sort of, tricky is like once they started getting violent, it's like, well, they shouldn't have done these sort of terrorist activities. They like burned down bridges and burned down buildings. But the Canadian government became like kind of brutal to them for a while and was like separating the children from their families and forcing them into schools. And the parents were like institutionalized and like put in like facilities where they were like forced to live and basically like held like prisoners almost.
Yeah, it says 250 adult Freedomites paraded naked in front of the kids' schools. That's a big crowd.
It's a lot of naked Freedomites.
So I love this. They sent so after when things really spiked up, there's lots of bombings and they had this crackdown. So this is from that same article from from 1961, I think, or it's early 60s. The violence reached a peak. Oh, it says naked siege. The violence reached a peak in 1961 when Freedomite leaders raised community tempers to boiling point by blaming the Canadian government for the murder of Peter Lordy, an event that took place back in 24. Bombs rocked every lonely mountain town from Nelson to New Denver, and finally the Royal Canadian Mounted Police cracked down a special Mountie D Squad. They call it the Mountie D Squad for Doukhobor. Swarmed through the Kootenays. I guess that's a place, the Kootenays. Set up roadblocks, searching their homes and cars for bombs, finally arresting 120 hardcore Freedomite terrorists. The prisoners were given terms of up to 10 years in their prisons and a fireproof clink that prevented them from using their usual route to freedom, which is to burn it down. A fireproof clink.
It seems dangerous to burn down a jail that you're in
Yeah.
to try to escape.
One of my favorite stories, I'm scanning it here, I don't see it, but when I was reading about them, eventually there was like, when the government and this group really started clashing, the police were like sent into town to arrest the adults that were like trying to prevent their kids from like going to school. And it said that the police raided this town in the middle of the night and like banged on people's doors, and they would enter the homes to try to arrest them. And in protest, the Freedomites would start stripping. So it's like you can't arrest me. I'm getting naked.
No, they're like PETA. In 1955, 70 police officers raided the town and took 40 children in the middle of the night. In protest, their parents stripped in front of the police. No, keep it on.
We'll give you your children anything you want.
That's like the opposite of like bachelorette parties where the police show up and start stripping.
I don't know. What's that in reference to?
You don't go to bachelorette parties.
Typically. I want to see the movie version of this.
It does sound like it would make a good movie.
Like
and then
Big
how
Epic
did
Last Stand?
How does it conclude? It said in the early 1980s, the government of Canada sort of apologized for their treatment of the Freedomites, and they reached an agreement.
They apologize for everything.
They said sorry.
Sorry.
And they reached an agreement with the remaining group. So I think today it says there's 2,500 people still in Canada that identify as Freedomites, and I think they kind of live probably still in Saskatchewan. But when they moved here, it was like tens of thousands, wasn't it? Like 20,000 or something like that. It was a bigger group.
I'm like picturing like nudist, like Amish people.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
that's-
Like
that's
when you put ites at the end of
right.
things, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
Jacob and whatever. Hezekiah. Naked.
Yeah. But yeah, they were pacifists and they blew things up. They were like BLM. They were mostly peaceful except for the fires and the riots.
Other than that.
Other than that part.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, God bless the Freedomites.
Yeah, heroes of the faith. The bee or not the bee? That is the question I ask myself every morning as I drink from my the bee or not the bee mug. Now you too can drink from this amazing coffee cup and ask yourself the same question. Which is better? It's so hard to decide. In fact, I would say it's absolutely the Babylon bee, but not the bee is pretty cool too. Enjoy this mug.
I really miss Adam Ford.
We've got a hate mail from James Reed, who left a comment with a fake email address. Is that what it says? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see that. Okay, so,
Okay.
yeah, so he sent us a comment through our contact
So read
form,
the email address.
and his email address is jamesreed.don't-care-about-your-site @gmail.com.
Yet he is emailing it.
Yes. So he does care, kind of.
He does to the extent.
And he says, garbage site. I won't read what you post.
So he's on the site. He won't read what we post, but
He's closing
finds
his
the
eyes,
contact
trying to
form.
find the contact.
Yeah.
He read it. He knows it's garbage. And he also won't
He created
read
an
it.
email address, jamesreed.don't-care-about-your-site @gmail.com. And I like that our guy Jamie responded with a meme. Cool story, bro.
I want to request that other people now, if you want to send us a message, create a James Reed don't care about your site with like a 1 or a 2 and see how many of these email addresses we can get going.
Get up to 69.
Yes.
So we're going to move to our subscriber lounge now, where we've got some bonus hate mail.
Got some bonus Patrick date
Bonus
profile
Patrick date profiles.
footage.
Stuff.
Anything else?
Subscriber headlines of the week.
Yeah. Classic story. Everything. So much fun.
Join us by smashing the join button on YouTube or going to babylonb.com/plans and subscribing. We'll see you guys next week.
Coming up next for Babylon Bee subscribers.
We need a video.
We need the video of Patrick.
We make Patrick get on the camera and like talk and just tell him what to say.
This is literally torture.
Say it.
I'm doing this against my will.
See, so I think she thinks that you, the fake you, she's owning you, the fake you.
Whoa! There's a hog farmer.
Oh my gosh.
Here. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji.
Wondering what they'll say next? The rest of this podcast is in our super exclusive premium subscriber lounge. Go to babylonb.com/plans for full-length ad-free podcasts. Kyle and Ethan would like to thank Seth Dillon for paying the bills, Adam Ford for creating their job, the other writers for tirelessly pitching headlines, the subscribers, and you, the listener. Until next time, this is Austin Robertson.
Hello, ladies. It's me, Patrick. I'm looking forward to getting to know you.